welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Tiara.
Hello.
All right, guys, we're back. In this episode, we are going to discuss the 2021 film Boogie. I'll give you the log line for this one. Alfred Boogie Chin, a basketball phenom living in Queens, New York, dreams of one day playing in the NBA. While his parents pressure him to focus on earning a scholarship to an elite college, Boogie must find a way to navigate a new girlfriend, high school, on-court rivals, and the burden of expectation. All right, Tiara, you saw this movie, so I am, for the most part, interviewing you about it. What are your thoughts on this?
So I actually liked it.
Did you? Okay. The whole time before this, she's like, I don't know, it's a movie.
I really enjoyed it. So Taylor Takahashi, who plays Boogie, this is his first role, and he used to be Eddie Wong's assistant before getting cast in this.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I did fail to mention that Eddie Wong, chef, and writer, and also the inspiration for the show Fresh Off the Boat. He wrote and directed this, so yeah. Yep. And this is his debut as well.
Yep, and I thought the lead actor Taylor Takahashi did a really good job. You can tell his acting needs some work because some of the line delivery was very like, "You keep putting pressure on me, leave me alone." I'm like, ooh,
not a lot of oomph behind it.
Yeah, but I think his lead actress Taylor Page kind of elevated his performance because she was excellent in this. But it's a story that I know Eddie Wong said he did not want this to be framed as like a solely Asian American story, which I thought was pretty obvious because there's like a lot of hip hop plays throughout the whole movie, a lot of like just straight up rap songs. I think mostly from New York rappers in this movie.
Well, Eddie Wong is like super into that like part of New York culture. Like he really is.
It is definitely noticeable. But it's a story that I think a lot of us can relate to, which is like he's someone who transfers from one academy to another prestigious academy, and he's under this immense pressure by his Taiwanese parents. I think they're Taiwanese or Chinese. Someone is probably going to correct me there. To basically make an NBA, and there's this theme of like, well, you are Asian, so they only allow us to like do nails, cook really well, clean, but anything else, right? We're not considered for. So you really feel the weight of both of his parents who want him to be successful, but also both of his parents are pieces of shit to each other at the same time. But both of them want him to succeed. And I think when you are a child of color, of parents who grew up struggling for the most part, you can feel all of their aspirations on you, and that's hard, especially when you're 17 years old and you know that you're talented. Right. It's hard for you to find your own identity when your parents' expectations of you are shadowing your every move. Right. So you kind of see.
I think both of us deal with that personally, right? Like it's a thing that happens.
Listen, my parents wanted me to be a lawyer or a doctor.
Wow. Really setting the bar completely reasonable.
Which is, but also a lot of their family members who are accountants and some who are actually lawyers. So it's, or work in tech. So that expectation is there to do something that's honorable. I think what's interesting here is that for Boogie, his parents don't say you need to be a doctor or lawyer or something necessarily traditional. They're like, you are going to beat this other kid who turns out to be this black kid at another school. You're going to beat him, but you're going to beat him on your way to the NBA. They are expecting him to be an NBA, and I don't.
Oh wow! Okay, that's an interesting perspective.
Like he was raised, and he is trying to get into really good schools on scholarships, and you can tell that they're just being jerked around. Like they're having coaches come to the house, but one of them is played by Charlemagne the God, trying to get him to. I know when I saw him, I was like, definitely found anybody else, but he's only in it for a couple of minutes. But you can just see that it's talent enough for this kid. And also he's very rough around the edges too. Like when he meets his girlfriend, the first thing he says is like, you have a pretty vagina. That's how he ends up meeting her.
Wow, classy.
And he's 17 years old. So he clearly, I guess, knows better. But he has some temper tantrum issues that he has to deal with too, which is also threatening his ability to succeed. But otherwise, I really liked it. I think it resonates with me a little bit now because I think I'm obviously older than a high schooler and I'm kind of set in my career path. But I think me at 17 or 16 would have enjoyed this a bit more.
Okay. Yeah, it probably had to hit home a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you about his performance and stuff like that, but you covered that. So yeah, for now, how was the actual filming? Did it feel amateurish, or does Eddie Wong have like a pretty good eye already?
A little bit of both. Like if it's still, have you ever seen the movie Coach Carter?
No.
With Samuel Jackson?
Yeah.
Or Freedom Writers, I think with Hilary Swank or something.
Yes.
Like one of those coming of age stories where it looks like a newbie director filmed it.
Yeah.
It's like that. It feels like that. But I would actually like to see more from Eddie Wong on stories like this. Featuring Asian American or whatever characters or actors, but more like gritty stories like this, I think was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was okay.
Yeah, he seems to pull all of his stuff is like from his own personal experience, like growing up in New York. And by the way, Eddie Wong is Taiwanese. So that's probably,
okay.
The family in the movie, he's probably Taiwanese as well. So yeah, I mean, he does pull heavily from his own experiences. So yeah, that makes sense that he was able to sort of translate that. That's good. I like Eddie Wong a lot. I've seen his shows. I've seen Fresh Off the Boat. Like I've seen documentaries with him. No, he seems like an all around cool dude. So I'm glad to see him actually getting behind the camera and actually being able to do well. First time out. That's dope. Okay. So if you have to give a score for this, what would you give it out of 5?
I'd say 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5. All right. There you go.
Yeah,
not
good.
bad.
I don't think it's something I need to necessarily watch again. If it's on, I'll probably watch it, but I think it's a cool thing to check out if you have like an afternoon or, you kind of just want to see something different. Also, you don't see a lot of Asian male leads in roles like this where they're paired with a Black woman too.
Yeah. I found that to be interesting too. I was like, okay, anyone, I see you.
And they have great chemistry too. But I think for me, I want to see more stories like this because I think in New York you would run into an Asian or interracial couple with an East Asian man specifically and a Black woman, and she even kind of has her own thing about like your being expectations in what your cultural identity means because and it's in the trailer, but he says like I have 500 years or 5,000 years of Chinese history, and she's like, well, I don't even know what my history is. Right. Obviously alluding to slavery. So kind of seeing that dynamic was pretty cool. I want more of that.
Okay. There you go. All right. That's it for us. 3.5 out of 5 for Eddie Wong's debut as a director in Boogie. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.